Hello, good morning, everybody. My name is Laura from Tenacious Taurus Tarot, and this is going to be the general daily collective message for Tuesday, June the 11th. Keep in mind, timing and energy is still fluid. This could happen today. This could play out at any point in time. The message may or may not be for you, so just take what resonates and chunk the rest. We have Mars square Pluto exact today, and so right now we are in this cosmic combination that is bringing all kinds of turmoil and power struggles, but it is leading us to collective transformation. We just had Mars enter into Taurus, and so I'm back in the groove. I'm back in the flow. I have Mars conjunct my sun right now, which is increasing my drive to get things done again. I was so lethargic for the last couple of weeks, closing out Mars in Aries, and now that it's in Taurus, I'm like, yeah, I'm back in the game, baby. And so I feel right now this increased energy is giving us the drive to harness our courage and our willpower to face any challenges and competition when it comes to closing out a major cycle. And so right now I feel we're in this energy of the devil card, I guess, the devil with the Lovers. And so we are at a major pivot point when it comes to making a decision, right? And so if we think of these two energies, the Devil card would represent something toxic, like a trauma bond, and the Lovers would represent something pure and like a soulmate connection, a divinely guided soulmate connection. And so right now I feel the Mars square Pluto is triggering this deep desire to want to control others or to control a situation. And the more we grip to controlling something, the more likely it is it's going to slip through our fingers, because the only thing that we have control over is our own reactions, our own emotions, and control over ourselves and what we choose to do. And so when we try to control another, when we try to change another, or we try to control a situation that is out of our control, it's going to lead to a lot of opposition. It's going to lead to a lot of buried emotions surfacing, being triggered when it comes to jealousy and possessiveness. And so this can create a very toxic power and control dynamic within a relationship. And so right now I think the light is shining down. Shine the light down on the collective, please, when it comes to these very powerful and challenging connections. And so if you think about a trauma bond, if you think about the devil connecting two people together, these are two people or two parties, whether it's business or love, that are deeply intertwined both emotionally and financially, and it is toxic. It's toxic, it's destructive, it's based on addictions, manipulation, exploitation. It's basically two people trapped in an addictive cycle of self-destructive behaviors, and that they can't break free because of the magnetic trauma bond. And so you will keep being pulled back into these toxic cycles until you dive into your emotional fears and face any financial dependence when it comes to these toxic relationship cycles. And so a lot of the times we go back to these magnetically attractive, toxic, destructive, sabotaging connections due to fear of abandonment and fear of rejection. And so a lot of people in the collective are in these toxic cycles due to fear of being alone. And so when you think of the Lovers card, this is representation of a divine union, a successful divine partnership. It's a partnership where two people come together based on mutual love, mutual understanding, shared goals, shared values. It's basically two people committed to each other, willing to work together towards a common goal, towards a common objective. It's two people that are loyal and dedicated to one another, and this connection is built on trust and honesty. And so right now, I think collectively we're in this energy of the Hermit and the World card. We're ending a very long spiritual journey when it comes to recognizing the difference between a connection rooted in devil energy and a connection rooted in the Lover's energy. And so we all have the potential, I feel, to attain spiritual enlightenment and self-awareness, but it does take self-reflection. It takes a lot of self-reflection when it comes to understanding your current position in life, why you keep attracting the same relationships, how to seek those answers within yourself. This is an inner journey. Whenever we come to alignment from within, everything starts to fall in place externally. That doesn't mean that we're not going to have challenges. We're constantly going to be faced with challenges. But when we are aligned and we're striving towards a greater understanding of self and alignment, that is when we can really call in a true divine counterpart. And so I think Mars square Pluto is a very powerful reminder in the energies of the importance of self-reflection and introspection, so we don't keep repeating these negative patterns. I was also sitting in the energy of the Magician with the Five of Cups, and so disappointment is likely present. And we need to understand all endings bring sadness, brings disappointment. And so move through any losses, move through any endings, and don't look back. Don't look back, because a loss or a disappointment, even though the energy might be present, it's just there to offer you an opportunity to manifest something new, something positive, something more aligned with these new higher frequencies. And so it's really time for us as a collective and individually to take back control of our lives and to create a new path forward rooted in unconditional love and respect. And so we are always in control of our lives. We all have free will to utilize that control within our own lives, but we do not have the ability to control another. Everybody has their own free will to do with what they please. And so we have the power to change our own personal circumstances. So if you're somewhere you don't want to be, get up and get out of that situation. And I know sometimes it's easier said than done, but on a deeper level, I think right now there's a big understanding of why we need to experience endings, why we need to experience heartbreak and disappointment, so we can choose to create something new and something better in our lives. And so release the past. That is what came through. That was the strongest message. Release the past and manifest a brighter future. All right, so let's jump in with the cards, guys. We are going to pull in today by using the Chakra Insight deck. I thought this was a really good oracle deck to pull into because of all of the energies I feel being activated. We'll also pull a couple of cards with the Star Codes Astro Oracle deck just to see if there's any other astrological messages that need to come through with what's going on currently with the astrology and how that might apply to the collective today. We're going to use the Angel Wisdom Tarot deck, and hopefully I will remember to use the little love notes from the universe message deck, because this is all about love and connection. So let's get into it, guys. If you have not already, do feel free to hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to like the video, comment on the video, share the video. It helps circulate the content, helps the channel to grow. Just a nice, free, easy way to show me some love and show me some support. Also, if you would like to book a personal reading with me, check out the description box below. There is a link below to my personal webpage, so go check it out. There's a couple different readings that I offer over there. And if you would like to become a channel member, feel free to check out the membership side of the channel where I go live every Thursday at noon. And I've been brainstorming and thinking about ways to improve the membership side. So stay tuned for some announcements coming up here. So creativity. It's all about creating something new from our freedom of expression, our authentic expression. And so 35, there is like a wounded healer energy coming through. I feel throat chakra. And so we do have to create our world. Our words do create our world. And so are you speaking kind things into your thoughts? Are you speaking kind things into existence? And so we're here to be unique. We're here to be original. Oh, and then we get 49. We get divine consciousness. So I feel like a 9 of Cups coming through when it comes to the interconnection between maybe two soulmates. Somebody here is expanding into a state of oneness, tapping into divine consciousness. And so I feel like a soul star activation going on here. And we do have a wounded healer. And so to be activated into the truth, it is painful, right? The truth will come to strip away illusions, but the truth will shatter that illusion. And I feel like an illusion connected to third party. They're showing me a 3 of Cups energy. So somebody is receiving some divine truth connected to a choice, I feel, between two types of relationship cycles. It might be a choice between two people. It doesn't have to be, but let's get a few of these cards out and let's see what else needs to come through for the collective. Also, keep in mind, I will call out any zodiac signs throughout the reading, but it is not sign specific, okay? It is general. Possessions, there we got it. There's that Mars square Pluto, possessiveness, jealousy. And so a lot of people in the collective will stay stuck in these trauma bonded relationships because of the financial entanglement with the belongings and the finances and the assets. And a lot of people covet material treasures over emotional connection. And so there's a deep inner child wound here I feel being activated. I feel Chariot, I feel Moon, I feel very strong Cancer energy coming through. So you could be dealing with a Cancer, or you could have prominent Cancer. And so this is about getting to the root cause of an abandonment wound in order to do some inner child healing. So the inner child is in focus. And then we get the Lion. And so somebody I feel is awakening to their inner lion. And so 19, the Sun, something is being illuminated. And so there is fears needing to be worked through when it comes to a solar plexus recalibration about trusting this deep knowing and your intuition when it comes to taking action. And so there is a crossroads connected to a family situation. And so the nest energy. So the nest is belonging within the community is important to somebody. Culture, embracing the culture of your ancestry. And so there is a home situation and focus. And below that, we get emotional balance. So it's kind of like an Ace of Wands, Ace of Cups energy coming through today. And so emotional regulation, emotional balance, stability, harmony, peace, and fluidity is very important, I feel, for many of us on the journey. And so I do feel the journey does begin with love of self, first and foremost, right? And so the inner child is beckoning somebody to come out into this playfulness, into this lightheartedness, into this innocent wonder. And that is the awakening of the divine consciousness and oneness, is that innocence, that wonder, that wonderment for life. And then below the emotional balance, there's a need to get honest with yourself. And so in order to unlock the path, you have to speak your truth. And so I do feel a download about truth, a download about love. I'm feeling Queen of Wands energy coming through now. I'm feeling a very benevolent, kind, caring, generous Queen of Wands energy. Somebody very loyal to communicating transparently. And so truth, transparency, sincerity, and communication. 31, there is something here like a Queen of Swords energy too coming through. I feel exposing some truth, which is creating, I feel almost like a cognitive dissonance is what it feels like, connected to a third party. So a Queen of Swords, we could have a public speaker here exposing third party toxicity within trauma bonds, and there is some type of cognitive dissonance as somebody awakens their inner heart. Very interesting. So let's get a couple of these cards out. Retrograde. So interesting. We do have Pluto retrograde. And so this is like a very significant retrograde for the collective. So we've got Pluto retrograde right now. Currently it's retrograde in Aquarius. It's going to dip back into Capricorn. And it's going to have that last anaretic 29th degree in Capricorn. And so it's a final cleanup connected to whatever housing you have within your birth chart with those energies combined. And so for me, the retrograde is dipping right back into my 11th house. Slight dip into my 11th house. And so the retrograde energy right now is sitting in my 12th house. So there's that 15 card. And so this retrograde, this Pluto retrograde in this review is bringing in a deep dive, I feel, when it comes to these trauma bonded relationship cycles. And is that really what you want to keep creating moving forward? And so there's going to be flare-ups, there's going to be confrontations, and this is to lead you down the pathway of healing. And so there is all kinds of spiritual activations taking place. And don't quote me, I'm pretty sure at the end of the month on the 29th, I think it's on the 29th, we're going to have Saturn also going retrograde. And so Saturn retrograde is saying get ready for some type of activation when it comes to maybe awakening to some past life energies. Yeah, get ready to face some opposition. There is going to be some opposition, and I think two people going head to head over like possessions and assets and belongings. And sometimes it's just better to walk away from it all, because you can't get more time back, but you can get more money. You can always make more money. You can always rebuild, right? And so maybe you're arguing with a Pisces. You could be a Pisces. But I do feel it's like a Knight of Swords energy and a Hanged Man. And so this argument, this opposition over maybe some assets or belongings is really getting somebody overly sensitive when it comes to an inner child wound. And so we could have somebody here that fills the void through materialism and greed. And so we can never ever fill that void, right? when there's like an inner child wound, you can try and fill it all you want, but the only way to overcome that wound is to do that self-reflection and that shadow work. And so somebody here is swimming against the grain, I feel. Definitely needing to gain a new perspective shift, because what I'm feeling is there is a lack of emotional balance within like a community or a social group or a home situation. And there's something here about to be birthed. The Pluto. Something here about to be birthed. And we get the Pluto card with the rebirth come out. So there's that Ace of Wands energy. And so something here is definitely needing to complete, to end, to die away in order for that Ace, in order for that new beginning, for new passion, new creativity. And so the 5th house, we do have an energy here, I feel, coming through of like another 3 of Cups coming through. Third party, we get Sagittarius. So you could be a Sag, you could be a 5th house Sag. I feel Hermit energy. Somebody here is expanding through doing a deep dive within a core wound, because we've got the Centaur energy coming through, half human, half horse, which is representative of, I feel, that Chiron wound, the wounded healer. And so somebody here has been stricken. I feel heartbreak for sure. And this is connected to closing out something from the past, a past life soulmate. There's a 7 of Wands energy coming through. I feel there's like a teacher of the teacher here. And so get ready to defend yourself. I do feel somebody is fighting over belongings and money. And is it worth it? Do you want to be right? Is it worth it fighting over money and material treasures? Or do you want to be happy? Do you want to go towards passion? Because I feel like the opportunity is here for a clean slate. But you might need to walk away from third party. And you might need to go within and do a deep dive in order to understand the past. And so we can't really fully move forward if we don't do that self-reflection and take that long, hard look in the mirror and look back at the past to understand a cycle in its entirety. And so 10 of Cups energy coming through, and we get the 12th house. And so this is about burying the past, maybe completing a cycle, closing out a cycle connected to ancestral patterns as well. And so we all come into this life with a south node and a north node, and these are mathematical points. And so the south node, I believe, is past life energy, the gifts that you mastered in a past life, which is why it's your comfort zone, because it's what you're good at. And we're here to ascend and transcend the pattern of the south node and to embody the north node. And so it's completely new territory, that north node. It's actually terrifying to step into that north node because it's completely out of the box. It's completely out of the comfort zone. And so maybe really introspect and self-reflect on your birth chart, and maybe spend some time over the coming days analyzing the north and the south node. And that's so interesting that that came through, because that is the topic that is going to be talked about this Thursday on the membership live. We're going to talk about the north node mission and overcoming the comfort zone of the south node of the past. And so I do feel get ready for some major introspection. This Mars transit through Taurus is bringing in deep-seated healing, I feel. And so somebody's at the crossroads. Somebody has a big decision to make. And when Saturn goes retrograde, I feel there's going to be a major restructuring connected to relationships. Queen of Wands again coming through, Queen of Wands. And so definitely this retrograde, Saturn retrograde, Pluto retrograde is really highlighting the Five of Cups energy. I feel that Magician and that Five of Cups. And so if you are dissatisfied, if you are in some type of entanglement, right? The 7th house is one-on-one relationships. It's marriage, it's partnership. And so sometimes we can get entangled and tied up in that energy as well. And so the first and foremost relationship that we need to master is relationship to self. And so I feel right now there's a major reviewal, there's a major activation when it comes to embracing collective healing and arriving at that most authentic essence. So let's go a little bit further with the tarot here. Very in-depth reading today. Let's see what else needs to come through. There's that Five of Wands in reverse, and we got that Queen of Swords. So the Queen of Swords is all about truth and transparency. And I do feel we could have a public speaker here that is exposing conflict and drama, that is exposing what needs to be walked away from. We could also have a Queen of Swords that is cutting things out as part of her transformation. I feel exposure of maybe a situation that really isn't worth your time. This is like releasing anything and everything, communicating truth, communicating with sincerity, maybe even just focusing on career. The Queen of Swords represents Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. And we've got somebody here that is all done with drama, all done with the distorted views of self. And so this Five of Wands, somebody's really spent a lot of time self-reflecting. And so a flame was lit, some self-reflection is being done, and a cut is being made. So that Queen of Swords too, you might not like what she has to say, but she does come bearing the truth, whether you want to hear it or not. And so a lot of people are comfortable in their lies, in their illusions. And so the truth is the only thing that really sets us free, although it can be earth-shattering to share the truth, to receive the truth. And so if you're the one speaking truth, do it with benevolence, do it with kindness. All those squares, probably not going to be very kind. Oh yeah, there's some type of truth being exposed connected to third parties. So where you're at, is it worth it, is what I heard. Is it worth it? Because there is some type of community structure here where I feel there's a block. There's definitely a karmic darker energy that has come between two people on the enlightening path, on the enlightenment path, preparing for union. We've got two divine soulmates here, and there's a third party block. And so that could be people, places, and things. It can be addictions, right? And so major wake-up call. We get the moon in reverse right out the gate. It's like, pay attention. You didn't pay attention, and now you're getting a rude awakening. I feel a rude awakening. We get the 7 of Coins in reversed. We get the Knight of Wands in reverse. This is immediate departure from a relationship. Yeah, the Lover's reverse. Like, wake-up call. Hello, this is not true love. This is not intimacy, is what it's feeling like. And I'm all done investing. I'm all done working on this. So the 7 reversed, the 8 reversed. I'm getting out of Dodge. The Chariot, that's been a very strong message consistently for about the last week. And so rewards come when you find your willpower and your determination to leave something behind that spirit is hounding you to stop investing in. The 7 of Coins in reverse is saying, hey, like, you have wasted a lot of time on a connection that I think was maybe there was a lot of sexual, lustful passion, but I don't see any love here. I think there's a need to recover from an ending. There's a need to walk away from an illusion of some sort. Yeah, there's an illusion of a happy marriage here. And we've got somebody here bored and discontent. So we had that Queen of Swords come out. And now we got the King of Swords. We got a true pair on the board. We do have a true pair on the board. But what I also want to say about the King and Queen of Swords, that can also be a representation of a trauma-bonded relationship. Because the King and Queen of Swords, it can turn into like feeling like you're living with your brother or your sister. And so it's almost like the embodiment of a best friend, but there's a trauma bond and there's a lack of emotion. I think two people here that are unwilling to communicate clearly. I think there's going to be an argument. There's going to be an unexpected event that might trigger some very harsh, blunt communication, divinely guided communication. There's the red, seeing red. There might be a fight over money or a fight over assets. And so I think it's time to just really be logical and not over emotional when it comes to a decision. There's going to be unexpected changes and there's going to be a release. So the 10 of Wands is, I'm all done working on this. Somebody's really put in a lot of work and effort, and maybe you've spent many years trying to balance out a family situation, and there's just all kinds of stress, all kinds of health issues, all kinds of depression, because it's just challenging. And so I think somebody here has been stressed out, losing sleep over needing to leave something behind, because there's just a lack of passion, there's a lack of balance, there's a lack of compromise, and somebody here is just feeling entrapped. And so we can all get there. I've been there too. Feeling trapped in a situation and not sure how to get out of it. And so somebody here is definitely all trapped up in their head too when it comes to making a decision. And so don't be afraid to take action. Don't be afraid to walk away from something. Spirit is saying you might have skills that will help you overcome this. You might have skills to maybe help mentor others after overcoming this specific challenge. But it's time to take responsibility for your life, right? It's time to be responsible. It's time to seek self-control because there is a king here that, like, the overall energy, we close it off with this King of Swords. And bottom line is we have a King of Swords here that really isn't communicating. The sword is down to the side. Could be very stoic. I feel... maybe somebody here receives some poor advice, or maybe they are receiving advice now. Somebody's pushing this masculine to speak clearly. So I think there's a masculine here cutting to the chase when it comes to just an unemotional relationship. Or maybe this person just isn't emotionally available. But it is time to stand up for what it is that you believe in. And so if you want true love, if you want to fall in love, if you want... a romantic relationship that is balanced, that is filled with passion, you might have to give up on something that you didn't want to give up on. Because I feel like a 7-year cycle. I think maybe at first you thought, hey, I planted a seed really well. This was it. This was my person. And now a revelation is coming in with some truth and some clarity saying, hey, you got to recover from this. This is like affecting your health. This is affecting your work. This is not love. This is an illusion. And I think, so we could have like a 6-year cycle, a 4-year cycle. And so with this 10 of Cups, I always look at it like, hey, there's that 6 of Cups. There's the rainbow blessings. Hey, that's what we thought it was going into this. Maybe even closing out a 10-year cycle. And here we are with the 4 of Cups. So if you want to put boredom and discontentment behind you, you're going to have to go towards doing this deep inner child healing. And so a lot of us will recreate the same family pattern that we experienced in childhood between our parents. And that's not always good. That's not always healthy. And so there's a need to recognize, you know, what is healthy love, what is unhealthy love, because we do have basically the devil card coming out here with the Lovers in reverse. So you could be dealing with a Gemini, you could be dealing with a Pisces, a Cancer, a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, or a Sagittarius. But I think it's time to choose your battles wisely. And I do think there is an opportunity to go towards a new passionate beginning. But you got to cut something out here first. I think first thing you got to cut out is other people's opinions too. And so there could be somebody going back to this Queen that has been in an unemotional connection, going back, revisiting maybe somebody that they divorced or somebody that they walked away from. But I feel either way, like the divine is like, hey, you don't get any more time to decide. We've told you to take those steps. We've told you to make that decision. And so this retrograde is saying, you better bring it within. You better really evaluate what is just in your life. Is this balanced? Is this working out for you? We get Libra energy coming through, which is connected to the South Node. Are you in a connection where both of you are coming from a place of integrity? Do you just want to win? Do you just want to be right? Or do you actually want to be happy? Because there is a temperance angel saying, hey, you release something that's not balanced. You release something that, makes you feel like you don't got any confidence to walk away because you don't want to see something clearly. There is a lack of passion here. We are in the year of the dragon, and so the good that you put out there will always come back to you, but you also have to stop romanticizing about the beginning of the relationship. A lot of people come in, and within the first 6 months, they're comfortable, right? They get comfortable, and then they get in that comfort zone, and you're like, who is this person? This isn't who I fell in love with. And then you try to control this person. You try to change them back to who they were, but that's not who they were. They were reflecting a part of you inside of you. And so stop over romanticizing the past first and foremost. I do feel there is almost like a 5 of Cups energy at play here, right? And so the energy is asking you, you're watching it, to embrace your inner child. Do that inner child healing and recognize victory lies in releasing these imbalanced connections. And so sharing your wealth with others, sharing your energy, sharing your time. Trust that abundance will flow when you release a situation that I feel just keeps you up at night, keeps you worrying, fear growing out of proportion. And so it's time to go within. The Hermit in reverse is saying you need to spend some time alone. There is somebody here afraid to be alone. And we all need to go through periods of solitude and aloneness in order to discover who we are, because we don't know who we truly are when we're constantly connected to all of these outside energies, because then we're just going to absorb all of these energies. And so I feel a lot of us too are being pushed into becoming spiritual mentors. And so this could also be the energy of somebody has all done the process of self-discovery, and it's time to come out and shine that light as a healer, shine that light as a spiritual mentor, shine the light of peace after a period of meditation. But I do feel exposing love bombers, exposing smiling liars. And we could have a feminine here exposing the truth of trauma bonds, exposing the truth of these love bombers that come in and, swoop you in and love bomb you and future fake you. These are not true twin soul connections. They come in as like a false counterpart. And so I do feel a recognition of something unhealthy here that needs to be taken charge of when it comes to moving forward. So get ready to accelerate. I feel there's going to be a lot of challenging communication over the coming days that will create unexpected, rapid movement forward, because somebody here has got to get out of the dark, man. Somebody here is in the dark and they can't see the light at the end of the tunnel at all, because they're in some type of trauma bond or an illusion of entrapment. And so you know what? Somebody made an unwise choice, and I think they're choosing to stay stuck there because they don't want people to know they made a bad choice, because it's humiliating and it's embarrassing to say, hey, I made a bad choice. I'm really not happy, and I've been lying to everybody about how happy I am. I get it. It's embarrassing. It can be. But humiliation is the pathway to compassion. And so there is a very unhealthy, addictive pattern here that you need to look at so you can make a better choice and choose a path that will create more happiness in your life. And so if you are the one lacking integrity or have questionable motives, you're dealing with somebody that sees through you, I think. And I also feel a feminine here, like the feminine collective in general is all done self-sacrificing. And so the feminine collective is coming into these intuitive insights. And although the feminine collective is very caring and trusting, we're all done with these love bombers, right? And so following the heart also means utilizing logic. And so it's okay to say you made a bad choice. It's okay to be embarrassed and walk away. And so, I think there's something here that can no longer be avoided, because there's like an epiphany, there's illumination. Maybe you're dealing with a Leo. But something here is just no longer working out. I do feel a separation, which will lead to planting a seed for a new beginning. So let's get a love note from the universe. Let's close this off with a love note. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. You have what it takes to break free, so keep it simple. Old souls use words very sparingly, and that's the truth. I don't like to talk a lot, right? I really don't like to talk. This is probably the most talking I do in a day, is recording the daily messages. So sequence is important. So there might be a sequence of events playing out, a karmic chain of events playing out to get you back on the path. And so keep it simple. I think somebody here is really complicating a situation. Maybe they're torn between two paths, but you need to keep it simple. Let's get one more card. All right, things are about to get really juicy. Things are about to get really juicy. We get I Heart You came out in reverse, and turn on your love light. So I think a light is being shone down on a situation with like an Ace of Cups in reverse. Somebody here is not in love. They've love bombed. They're like, I love you, I love you, I love you. They don't really love you. Somebody here has been misled by a love bomber. So things are about to get really juicy. So I think there's some very strange things playing out here. I think somebody has given their love very generously and they've not received it back in return. And so this has created an addiction that has really created a negative effect on somebody's life. We get I Heart You in reverse. And so somebody here really does not love you, if you're resonating with this. And so go forward. Do not stay stuck on a loveless situation. Turn the light on. Turn the light on and start loving yourself, because I feel there's somebody here that feels like they're just going crazy or going insane because they've been misled by either a narcissistic love bomber or just somebody that doesn't have what it takes to be authentic. And so when love is authentic, you will feel it. It will feel right. If it feels wrong, it will allow the fear to keep speaking to you over your intuition. And so I think somebody is all done chasing after somebody that doesn't really want true love. So don't allow yourself to be misled. And that's what I got for a message today. I really hope this helped. I hope this resonated, guys. If you would like to book a personal or a soulmate reading with me, check out the description box below. And I do look forward to seeing you all again next time. Thank you.